stand for can be found to be the fulfillment of the longings and hopes of millions of African people, Rastafari people, all over the continent and globally. Echo here to His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. Glory to words, glory to sound, glory to the power of His Imperial Majesty and Empress Menen of Ethiopia. Haile Selassie.
Yes, give thanks and praise to Brother Rocky, who have said it in the way that I and I really have a meditation upon words where African unity is concerned. Because without the unity of Africa, then watch it, we're in a problem. And that's what it means, you know. What means, you know, because we're there so in a jam down. It means, all of us are Africans, 99% of us in Jamaica here so are African. And what it needs is the unity. Like Marcus Garvey said this, you know, right now, you know, we don't have to talk about no gun and being it, you know, what we want is organize. Organize yourself in a one unity that them can know say I exist. You see, if we don't do that, then we must have way, some little way. So you say, make us respect the love and the unity and try to organize yourself. But at this time, you know, I have to welcome our brethren, you know, when I show the eyes, you say, I man personally was screaming in Africa love. Oh, I man love it. It may sound a weird when I say I love a man. But you want no man. You see this virgin here? Hey, you see this virgin here? Him is uncomparable. You don't see it? Because right now this is a man wearing a trench coat for him a youth. Right. And when him come through the thing, you know, you see when I deal with him, come through it with the message, I come through all the sounds. You know what I mean? All players of instrument, you know. Him a come through a thing, you know, man, we are called the wailing wheelers. You know what I mean? This is a man who educate the world. You know what I mean? The only legend will stand, you know. And you know right now, we're going to welcome, you know, the honorable, you know what I mean? Or Livingston, brother Bunny Wheelers, you know, to come welcome the people in Trestown, you know. As a virgin, we're there so all the while, you know. Start us, you know, and him now left us, you know. Welcome, you know, Jabi, Bunny Wheelers.
Greetings every time. Maximum respect to all the people who are here, Rastafarians and all others, because I give thanks as an original Trenchtown man. I can remember when the Rastafarian faith was very young, when I was living in Trenchtown. You have people like Martima Plano and other brethren that were carrying a faith as it relates to the Rastafarian faith and doctrine, that when His Imperial Majesty visited Jamaica in 1966, brothers were there. Some are not here now, but I know that their blessings will send them into the land of Ethiopia, the land of eternity. And I am not worried about anything that Babylon would want to say or do, because Babylon have to come and bow unto Haile Selassie with all the respect and manners that is due to all Rastafarians, male and female. And our children and our children's children is going to be focusing on serving the true and living creator of all creation, Emperor Haile Selassie. It is a good time in this gathering, you know. I feel very gracious for all the Rastafarians who have done their great works in establishing the goodness of Haile Selassie. Some are not with us in the flesh, but they are always going to be with us in I traditions as far as Zion is concerned. And I know that all the people who might have heard of Rasta and who want to be Rastafarians would be here to listen and also to understand the true faith and meaning of the Rastafarian that was, is, and will always be here, praising Emperor Highly High, Selassie High, Rastafari. It is a great thing. You know, Trenchtown is one of those places that have made a great mark in the universe. And there's a lot of people that have heard of Trenchtown. People globally who have heard of Trenchtown because of the songs and because of the messages that has been brought to them coming from the Wailers, which include myself and other artists, Toots Maytals, all the people who have been making this great music and has been relating to the global interest, so that people should understand that Trenchtown is a gracious place. And I don't like how it has been treated. I personally don't like how Trenchtown has been treated. This is the park where we used to kick ball and have our reverence. A long time ago, I'm talking about 30 odd years, 40 years ago. And there's a lot of brothers that has made their distributions and emphasis in sports and all the things that has been coming out of Trenchtown that makes Trenchtown to be the place it is and will always be. And I am not ashamed or afraid to say that. Big up Trenchtown, because I know that Trenchtown will always be large in this dispensation of time. And each and every brethren and sister that is here today in Trenchtown is something that is going to be recorded, that we can look at in the future of us being here gathered in the manner that we are, in the praises of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile
Rastafari. Everything ever faithful.
And I know that there are a lot of work that has been done, and there are still a lot of work that has to be done in the focus of Rastafarians globally, because and I just a little handful of Rasta that is here, but Rastas are global, all over the universe. Rastas that are white, Rastas that are Chinese, Rastas that are Indians, Rastas of course that are African people who have been exalting His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie High, and know that the glory and the exaltation of Jah Rastafari is likewise in the plants and in the fruits and in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and in the wind and in the rain and in every living thing that exists through the might and power of Emperor Haile Selassie Jah Rastafari. And I done that upon the wheel. I give thanks for the strength that is coming from Emperor Haile Selassie. Although my brethren are not here physically, but their words and their works are manifested in generations and generations to come, as seen from Robert Nesta Marley, Bob Marley, Winston Hubert McIntosh, Peter Tosh. And I am still here doing those things that my brothers would have been doing if they were here. Big time. It is a great thing for Rastas to gather in this manner and to be focusing on all the things that Rastafarians have been focusing in from beginning. I remember when His Imperial Majesty visited Jamaica, the amount of Rastas that were present at the airport. A lot of them are not here in the physical sense, but they are always going to be here, because Rasta never dead. Rasta liveth eternally. And I know of Zion, and in Zion we are a multitude so great that you would have to be there to see it and to overstand it. So I give thanks every time for all the people who are here, who have, been focusing on the struggle of the Rasta man and Rasta woman and children, to be here as we now celebrate the Rastafarian Naya being the 5th trumpet call. We know that Trenchtown is a place that is known to all the people of the world, that is knowing of Rasta and knowing of reggae and all of the things that comes from the Wheelers, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, myself, and all the people who have been playing this great music that has been relating to those things that are global. And I am here, as we all are, in celebrating this 5th trumpet call. Scott Pass, Pickford, Malvern, Spanish Town, Ocho Rios, Portland, Kingston, Bobo Hill, 12 tribes of Israel, House of Dread, Rasta Roots Reggae, artists and people who have been involved in the exaltation of Rastafari from such Iowa until such Iowa, henceforth and forever. I and I are here, of course, to exalt the glory of Jah, Rastafari. And then I always have to be reasoning on those things that is related to the culture, the custom, and the practice of all Rastafarians, home and abroad. Rastafari administration throughout the world is very important, as there are a lot of Rastafarians that have been doing this, and that has led to the knowledge of Rastas globally. I am seeing here where Adidas is a shoe seller, and they have sold millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars of shoes that has the color of the Rastafarian, red, gold and green. But they have not yet turned to issue any respect to the Rastafarian for using his colors to make hundreds of millions of dollars. And that is something that every Rasta man, woman and child should be concerned about. Because I can't be exalting what other people are coming to take to go and make millions of dollars, and is aiming and coming to take even more, and has not yet given back a dime to Rasta that has established these colors of red, gold and green. And if you look up in the rainbow and look up in the sky when rain set up, you see red, gold, green, and all the colors of the rainbow that is related to the colors of the Rasta man. And the Rasta man must always remember that one time ago when you exalt these colors, you have to go up on the dongle, and you better not be seen anywhere within civility exalting that color, red, gold and green, because Babylon would get wicked and want to do all kind of wickedness to Rastafarians for exalting the colors of the rainbow. And I know that the rainbow is and will always be a no guy, no principle. We're governed by men can change the reality of the rainbow. And I as Rastafarians have been exalting the colors of the rainbow, as we see here, there, and everywhere in the universe that Rastas are associated, and where Rastas are, that the colors of the rainbow has been exalted. So I give thanks and praise every time. Talking about repatriation. This is something that the Rastafarian has preached from the very beginning of his existence. Because He is a man of Africa, of Ethiopia. And to be settled in Babylon, to say that we are of Babylon, that is totally wrong. Because repatriation is a must. I want to know that when I'm talking, all the brethren understand what I'm saying, you know. When I said repatriation is a must, I want you all Rasta man and Rasta Empress say yes. Yes. Because it's not something that we are just talking about, but it's a reality of our existence. That a time will come that all Rastafarians will be repatriated to the land of Africa, Ethiopia, big time. We are talking about the reparation at home and abroad. We know that all of I and I as Rastafarians should be dealing with those things that are of home and those things that are of abroad, as we are one Rastafarians under the imperial power of Emperor Haile High, Selassie High, Jah Rastafari. Ganja legalization is something that I know here Babylon talking about. But I and I as Rastas legalize ganja long time. And no matter how much tribulation them want come true upon Rasta, Rasta not will stop exalt the legalization of ganja. And a lot of people, even in our society, who would not be saying what I'm saying here, them burn ganja though. A lot of people in society who are not dreadlock, but them burn ganja and burn it with a sacredness and a respect that every time that they need a ganja spliff, they have to get it. It no matter which part it's coming from, big time. Rastafari, because I and I know that living in Jah Rastafari is the true fear of Jah himself and must be exalted. True fear of the might and power of the Trinity, Jah Rastafari. Cultural and reggae rights. Rastas have been exalting this culture from when? Gone over some whole heap of years now. And the culture of Rasta still exists among I and I, exalting the culture of Rastafari. And then reggae music, that is the message that has been brought to the universe. Talking of Rastafari, exalting Rastafari, and praising Rastafari, so that nations of the world are now involved in the true rights of reggae music. And I, Bonwheeler, I'm still here singing this great music to the universe, so that we all will understand the focus of this great music called reggae music. But we have rights also to this music, because there's a lot of people that has been making and selling and making a lot of millions of dollars from this reggae music, but not giving I and I the reggae rights that I and I have created. So these are the things that I and I are here to focus on and to reason on, because these things belong to I and I as Rastafari, big time. So glory and honor and power and might and blessing be unto the true and living Creator, Emperor Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, here, there, and everywhere. Big up, brethren and sistren, for I have some serious work to do, and I not stop our itch until these works have been completed. And I know a lot of Rastafarians who have been so far passed on to a different dimension. They are not with us physically, but we are here in the physical sense, in the exaltation of the glory of the true and living Creator, Emperor Haile Selassie.
Let's give thanks and praise.